Alright, here we go. So what we're going to do is start doing some turns, just kind of show you how it works. And one thing to explain real fast is that you have different types of actions. Typically you can make two actions in an activation. You can move, then you can shoot, then you can move. You can do your full movement, basically like a run, and just do that. And there's all kinds of different actions. You can jump, you can climb, you can swim, you can open doors, you can
climb a ladder,
you can hack devices. It's pretty extensive, all the actions you can do. We're just going to keep it simple right now and show you some of the basics. So first thing I'm going to do, is basically I'm taking first turn here. I'm going to activate my Fusilier here, and she is going to move and then shoot. And basically what you do is you declare your action, you declare what you're going to do, and you take your first action. So my first action is to move. So
as a reaction then, because I've got line of sight with my sniper, my reaction to the movement would then be to obviously snipe her.
So her first movement is to move 4 inches. That's her normal movement. So she's moving her 4 inches. And her second action is going to be to shoot her sniper. However, she gets to react to my movement, so she's going to take her shot.
I'm a he, by the way.
Okay, you're a he, your model's a she. So here we're going to do this and show you how this works.
Alright, so we've previously measured this out to be 27 inches. Now, he's going to be shooting at me. Both of our ranges would both get a +3 bonus. However, I have a special ability called mimetism. Now, it's one of the things that makes Infinity really special is each model really has its own special rules. So everybody can do something else that's different. There's one thing that really made me fall in love with Infinity is it didn't matter what models I picked. I could really make a viable force with anybody as long as I understood how each model worked and their special rules. So with my mimetism, I've basically negated his +3 bonus for range. I still get the +3 because he's out in the open, and because I'm in cover over here, I'm going to get +3 to my armor as well. So if he hits me, now he's going to come up and shoot me, so he's actually got a burst weapon that can shoot multiple times.
Like 4 times.
Ouch. Yeah. Now I actually have a viral sniper rifle that has burst 2. However, because I'm doing an RO, a reaction, I can only shoot 1 time.
Yeah, any burst weapon that's used in a reaction can only fire once.
Right. However, there are certain models that their special abilities negate that.
Yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule with the game.
All right, so let's do our face-off here, face-to-face.
Yeah, so this is what's called a face-to-face roll. So we're basically rolling against each other's thing. So I either have the potential to negate his shot, or he has the potential to negate one of my burst shots as well. It's awesome.
Yep.
So basically what we're going to do is we take our ballistic skill. My ballistic skill for the Fusilier is 12.
As is mine.
My goal is to roll under 12. And his goal is to roll under 12. And whoever rolls by the most, but he has +3, whoever rolls or passes the most wins the face-off.
Yep. Now what's interesting is he has burst 4. So if he shoots all 4 of his shots, and my shots, I basically critical. Let's say I roll exactly what I need. In this case, I need a 12 +3, so 15. So if I roll exactly a 15, and he doesn't roll a 15, then I've basically negated all 4 of his shots, and I've shot him first, basically in effect in the game terms. So let's go to the first one here.
So I roll a 16.
So I get a 19.
I roll a 19. So we both fail our first shot. That's pretty bad, especially considering he's a sniper. But that's the nature of the game. You know, we're like Shawn always says, lady averages.
Yep, it is a dice game.
It is a dice game. So, but I have burst 4, so I get to continue
shots.
shooting, and he cannot negate these other 3 shots because his first one failed. So here we go. Second burst. Okay, I get a 10.
So
that's a hit. So he's got 1 hit. Here's shot 3. Fail.
16 is a fail.
Shot 4
is a hit.
2. Awesome. So I have 2 hits. So now he has the ability to make 2 armor saves here. So what we do is we take the damage of the weapon. In this case, it's the heavy machine gun, damage 15. And then, James, do you have any armor on your character?
The LASIK has a 2 armor, plus I've got 3 for being in cover, so that gives me 5.
All right.
So what that does is we take his damage,
15,
minus my total armor of 5, so that's 10. So I have to roll above that.
So he has to roll higher than a 10.
So 16 to 14,
awesome.
I'm just fine. So
he makes both his saves.
I'm good.
Okay, so we've both shot, we've both taken action, reaction, whatever. So these guys can no longer move in this phase. So we actually put essentially a counter on them that allows us to keep track of that they moved and that they've made an action this turn.
And we can show some of these
tokens here. These actually come, if you get the box sets, These actually come on the inside flaps that you can cut out. They're just basically pre-printed counters and wound markers and all kinds of great things. So I'm just going to use one of these markers upside down to denote that that character is activated in this turn.
Right. So he would still have 3 more actions.
3 more orders.
2 normal orders and 1 lieutenant
Yeah.
order.
So
the lieutenant order is important because you can only have 10 people in 1 unit. So if you're playing a larger game, you can actually split the units up into 2 units if you wanted, and that lieutenant order can be used on either
well,
side.
not only that, but there's a special lieutenant order that can only be used by the lieutenant.
Right.
So the lieutenant always has to make an action. Always has to do something.
Has to do something.
Yeah, but then it has a second action or a second order, sorry, that you can essentially use where you will.
Right. All right, welcome back. We're going to do some splitting the fire here. Then we're going to go over some close combat and kind of how that works. And that's basically going to be it. But I want you to understand that these are super glossed over. This is super simplified. And that's kind of how we learned how to play. What we did is we basically bought the starter boxes and we just started playing with the rules that we understood and worked out the games. And the game is set up that it's super in-depth. You can go as in-depth as you want in this game. Like I said, every model has multiple special rules available to them. Once you start using those, it creates a whole new set of tactics to use. So for right now, we're going to show you splitting fire. All right, what's our scenario, Brett?
All right, so we set up a little scenario here to give you guys a demonstration. So I've got my cutter here, and he is going to move out. I mean, declare his action is going to move out. He's going to shoot at these 2 models. He has a burst 4. You can actually divide up your burst however you want to any model within line of sight. And we have to stress that this game plays with true line of sight. So as long as your model essentially can see the other 2 models, it has line of sight.
Now, it's important to note, listen, I've got these 2 guys here. They can't see him. So
at least they may be able to see like an arm or a little thing. It doesn't count.
Right.
They have to be able to see the majority of the model.
So these 2 would not be able to get an RO. However, the 2 that are being shot at obviously would. This guy over here that's sitting here, he's got big crates in the way he can't see. And we've already predetermined that the viral sniper rifle cannot see as well.
So I've already gone ahead and measured range. I'm well within my medium range, which gives me a +3 to my shooting.
Yep.
And just for this intense purpose, just to show you how the division of shot works, we're not going to do any ROs.
Right.
This is going to be straight up just demonstration. So basically what I have burst 4. I'm going to decide to put 2 shots on this figure and 2 shots on that figure. And this kind of goes normally like every other thing. So I'm going to do this one first, do my shots on that one first.
Okay.
So his ballistic skill is 15. I have +3 to my range. So basically my target number is 18 or less. So I've got a pretty good chance I'm going to hit.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. 2 shots. We've got a 16 and a 14.
Nice.
So both of them pass. So now that
So
figure,
what would happen if you would have hit 18 exactly? Isn't that, what's that called?
I believe this is called a critical.
Awesome.
And it does some really fun stuff.
Okay, it depends on the weapon. Each weapon has its own critical effects. Each critical effect can stack and do different things, causing more damage or doing different effects. So check it out. It's really awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to resolve these attacks first before moving on to the second one.
Right.
So James is going to roll for his armor essentially. So the damage on mine is 15.
Okay.
So his target is, do you have any armor on these guys?
Well, in this case here, this is my Al-Hawa, has armor of 1, and I'm behind cover, so I actually have armor 4.
So you can roll a 50, you can get a 15 or higher.
Yep. Nothing. So I just took 2 wounds.
Okay.
Now,
How many
this
wounds does that
model
character have?
only has 1 wound. So the first wound effectively
Incapacitates.
and the second wound kills it.
So what that means is she has 1 wound. With 1 wound, she becomes incapacitated. Now, had she only received 1 wound, she'd be incapacitated. But if James had a medic,
Which I do.
that medic could get into base-to-base contact with that character and essentially revive it,
Right.
bring it back up to 1 wound. But because it has 2 wounds, she was incapacitated. The second one, she's dead. She's removed from the game.
Yep.
So they take that character out. Now I'm going to do my shots on the second one. So again,
Second one?
I have to get my target number is 18 or less. So I got a 2 and a 6.
Awesome. So now
2 hits.
I'm
And
going to
again,
make my
15.
saves. I made 1, so all she is
Awesome.
incapacitated. And of course my doctor is way over here. So in a
he's-
real game, that wouldn't be, I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Because essentially, like, it would take him multiple turns to get there. In the meantime, I could shoot that character again and remove that character from the game.
Right. Now, I just laid my model down. There's actually a better way to do this, especially once they're all painted up nice and pretty. There's actually a marker for prone, because that does affect the game.
Yeah.
When you go prone, your model is only the height of the base.
And the actual like supplied base, not necessarily like any cool basing material you may put on it, but the actual supplied base.
Yeah, like mine are all built up and built around and all that. It's just the size of the base.
Yeah. So
let's do some close combat.
We're gonna do some close combat. Show you how that works.
All right, in order to initiate an assault, the very first thing you have to do is make sure that you have movement. In this case, we've already pre-measured that I do have movement. In my case, 4 is my first move. So I'm going to move up into close combat, and that initiates another face-to-face roll. So in this case, your close combat.
My close combat skill is 18. Or no, sorry, I apologize. Yeah, 18 on Joan of Arc. Yeah, Joan of Arc is a melee character.
Okay, I'm going to back out of close combat.
Now, for example, if he was attacking like my Fusilier over here, for example, her close combat skill is only 13.
Right, and mine is 14 in this case. So I still got an okay chance. So let's do our face-to-face.
All right, so my target is 18 or less.
14. 14, critical.
Ooh, you got a critical, and I got a 3, so I actually passed by a lot as well. I passed by 15.
Yep, but I got a critical.
Which is awesome, okay?
So that means that mine actually supersedes yours.
Well, we both do damage, but
Yeah.
yours supersedes it, so
Yep.
what's the damage?
So in this case, let's see, what are we using here? We're just using a close combat weapon. Damage is physique. In this case, my physique is 11.
All right. So basically, I have the ability to make an armor save now.
Right.
So her armor is 5. So that brings his potential damage down to 6. So I have to roll higher than a 6, which is a 7 and up. So here we go. And I got
17.
a 17. So I passed my close
With
combat.
flying colors.
Yes. So
That
let's
was your
flip this around and say let's say I had won the combat.
Okay.
So for example, my damage for armor piercing close combat is also my physique. Her physique is 15.
Okay, well in that case,
So what's your armor?
I got 2.
Okay. So his roll would be 13. He'd have to beat a 13 basically. So 14
Did
or
you
higher.
say it was armor piercing?
It is armor piercing.
Okay, so that actually halves my armor.
Yeah.
So only
Halves.
1 for the armor. So that
So you
means
have to roll 14 out.
yeah. And 17,
And
I
you
would have been
passed.
okay.
Awesome.
Magically.
So we both passed our close combat. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is close combat. It can be extremely deadly.
Yes.
Certain characters have abilities that allow them to do all kinds of nasty close combat damage.
Right, but this Infinity is the game of shooting.
Yes.
Close combat is a very scary thing for a lot of characters, but there are some really good ones, like Yu Jing, for example, has a lot of characters that are really good in close combat. Nomads has some characters that are really good in close combat, and obviously Joan of Arc there is really good in close combat. I just got really lucky this time.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm going to be that lucky the next turn. So get out there, get on Infinity's website, infinitythegame.com, check out their models. They've got some beautiful sculpts. If you're into anime, if you love that style of model, get on there, find what you like. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you out and answer any of your questions. Go a little bit more in-depth, obviously, via email or phone call. So let us know, and we'll be happy to help you set something up. A starting army, what I have here, 8 models, is 202 points. 3 models, 200 points. That's more than enough to start a game, and R2D2 is talking to me. So
He agrees.
to start a game, 100 points, 150 points tops, until you get the rules down, and then build up from there. And that's what I've got to say. So,
Yeah.
Brett, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, basically this game is a lot of fun. The models are gorgeous, and definitely check it out. infinitythegame.com. And then if you want us to paint your stuff or order your stuff, let us know, bluetablepainting@gmail.com, and we're more than happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.
And let us know if we messed anything up. Obviously, like I said, we try to kind of skip over some of the more in-depth rules and try to give it simple and get you interested in this game. We are going to do a full-blown Batrep and actually go in-depth after this, so be on the lookout for that.
Also, just so you know, the makers of Infinity have a really awesome tournament system that they have designed that allows for progressive play. Really cool. It fits in with the fluff. It's awesome. Also, like we said, they're going to be revealing some new stuff tomorrow. Look for it. It looks like it's going to be awesome. And yeah, look them up. They're great.